What's going on, YouTube? I'm here to bring you guys an update to my Dragonic Waterfall Dual X Archdragon deck. So as you guys know, I love this deck, and I want to give a shout out to Loco Jones, one of our viewers. He really shared some good advice with me to make this deck awesome. And as you guys saw in the last video that we did with this deck, super close to winning, but this deck is actually more powerful than that and can steal games super easily with its ability to guard, restrict, and retire your opponent's units on top of that. But before you get into it, make sure you all subscribe. 91% of you guys who watch my videos aren't, so just know subscribing is the thing to do. Gotta support your creators. So without further ado, let's hop into it. Starting off with the grade 3s, stayed the same, 4 Dragonic Waterfall and 4 Dual X Archdragon. These of course are your Guard Restrict Kagero main cards. Dragonic Waterfall being able to, at the cost of Soul Blasting at grade 3, gain 10k and your opponent cannot call Sentinels from hand to Guardian Circle, and also a critical. If you go for Seal, it will swing for 23-3 crit. And then on place, you retire one of your opponent's grade 2 or greater rear guards. Really helps get rid of intercepts. Dual X Archdragon, counterblast 1, drop a card, retire your opponent's back row, and they have to call 2 cards Battle Door skill. All in all, these are the solid bosses for the Guard Restrict Kagero deck. And I really can't wait to see if Dauntless Drives really supports this deck and makes it pop even more. Because Dual X and Waterfall, depending on the game state, could have more explosive plays, and especially if your opponent like grinds it out to where they only have like 6 cards in hand. The 6 cards is the minimum required they need to guard your Dual X turn if they have to drop from hand. Little things like that, just keeping track of their drive checks, all things you need to do to win with this deck. Then we have 2 of the order. The order is very good in this deck because Kagero has means of counter charge as well as soul charge, so you're able to give your front row power, making your Waterfall and Dual X bigger, and just your rear guards in general, and draw 3 cards on top of that, allowing you to maintain advantage while you just kill your opponent's field. Next, for grade 2s, we have 4 Wyvern Strike Doha, 2 Burning Horn Dragon, 2 Dragon Dancer Farja, and 3 Torrid Cannon Dragon. So Doha, of course, as you guys know, is mainly support for the Blade Master deck. However, with its skill to generically call Wyvern Strike Garden from your deck when it's placed on rear guard from hand, it's really good for this deck, maintaining advantage and filling up your field. Then, its second skill isn't restricted to Blade Master at all, that when it attacks and if your opponent has no rear guards, your opponent cannot call normal units from hand to Guardian Circle, giving you more guard restrict on top of Dual Ax's skill, meaning that if they're at 5 damage, they have to drop 2 triggers just to defend this column. And of course, with the pressure with Garen, when the attack hits, it can be used to control your opponent's damage in certain situations, especially because what I like to do with this deck is if I'm going first, ride the Dual X and give the Force 2 to my Doha column, making it so the damage that they take there puts them closer to death, or they have to drop a bunch of cards early to properly defend it. Dragon Dancer Farja, just for consistency's sake, being able to search out Doha or Garen, especially on turn 2 if you're missing a piece, you could attack with this for more pressure first, then your Vanguard, allowing them to really make your opponent think whether or not they want to guard or give you free advantage. Burning Horn Dragon, so its first skill is utterly useless in this deck, but the second skill is really good because this deck has a lot of ways of discarding. So when it's discarded and your Vanguard is at grade 3 or greater, choose one of your opponent's rear guards and retire it at the cost of a Soul Blast. So what you do is, if your opponent has a full field with Dual X, you discard Burning Horn, and then you retire 4 cards. And then if you have a Torrid Cannon on the field, you could get rid of their last card if it's a grade 2 or less. Then, their whole field is gone. Which is why we also run Torrid Cannon. As a generic Kagero retire card, you gotta run this. Being able to send a card back to your deck that's a normal unit, especially if you want to send your grade 3s back, and retire one of your opponent's grade 2 or less. And if you have 4 or less cards in hand, you draw. Really help this deck maintain advantage and make sure that you could get off your cards, find your cards, get off your plays, and most importantly, retire as Kagero does. Onto the grade 1s, 4 Wyvern Strike Garen, 4 Flame of Hope Airmo, 4 Lava Flow Dragon, 1 Red Dive Griffin. So these are our grade 1s for the deck. Wyvern Strike Garen, of course, if your opponent has no rear guards, it gets 5k during your turn. And then when attack hits that it boosted, it doesn't have to hit a Vanguard. You could counterblast 1 to draw a card on Soul Charge 1. As I said, giving you pressure with Wyvern Strike Doha, forcing your opponent to really think about what attacks they want to take and give them closer to death or let you gain advantage. Flame of Hope Airmo helps you maintain advantage. So Airmo, of course, when it boosts, it gets 3k. And then when one of your opponent's rear is retired by attacking it or one of your skills, you retire this card, draw a card, and countercharge 1, allowing you to get back lost damage and increase this deck's ceiling with the amount of counterblasting that you can do, giving you access to multiple dual axes, the book, Doha, Toward Cannon, a bunch of cards in this deck. Lava Flow Dragon, grade 3 searcher generic for Kagero, so being able to search out whatever grade 3 you want to ride and essentially bring back Waterfall for more turns if you have to ride it first. It's really, really good for the deck. And also because it discards, it gives you another retire enabler for Burning Horn, meaning that you're able to use Burning Horn with 2 cards in this deck, making it not such a dead draw at times. Red Dive Griffin, this is a tech card. You could run other cards in this slot or potentially just max out your lava flows. But I like this card because late game, it's super situational. You could use it with Waterfall to force your opponent into awkward guarding situations. Since they can't use Sentinels, you could retire one of their big guardians, such as a heal trigger, and they would have to drop more cards. It's effectively a minus 20k shield, especially at that point in the game where they've already established kind of a hand and field. So it's pretty good. And then our triggers are pretty balanced. 6 crit, 6 draw, 4 heal, Conroe's our starter. So that's pretty much it for this deck profile, guys. I want to thank you all for watching. Just wanted to get this one out of the way because I know you guys have been looking forward to it, especially since I announced that I wanted to do this. I hope you guys enjoy and try this deck out for yourself. And I also hope that this deck gets more support in the future, whether it be through Dauntless or something else. So without further ado, thank you all for watching. Have a great day, and I'll see you all next time. Peace.